Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. We're presenting this segment as Forgotten Wisdom Radio, and of course, we're part of the team over at the Nomadic Enterprises website.
That's right. And today we're diving back into a series that seems to be, well, really resonating with you all. Why would someone want to live off-grid today?
Yeah, this is part 4, and if you've been following along, we've already talked about some of the more basic survival stuff, some of the ideological drivers.
Mm-hmm.
But today we're going a bit deeper, I think,
Yeah.
more into the philosophical side of things, the real shift in mindset that seems to happen. And we're drawing directly from reflections by author Spiritwalker Shikata.
Exactly. This isn't so much about the how-to of solar panels, though that's important. It's more about the why. Spiritwalker talks about motivations that go, way beyond just surviving day to day. It's about choosing a completely different reality intentionally.
And it's grounded in experience, which is key. Spiritwalker makes it clear these thoughts come, and I'm quoting here, not from theory, but from the lived dust and dawns of the off-grid life itself. I love that phrase, lived dust and dawns. It just feels so authentic, doesn't it? It tells you this isn't just armchair philosophy.
Absolutely. And when you make that kind of commitment, stepping away from all the usual support systems, you inevitably hit this point of stillness. Spiritwalker calls it a quiet reckoning.
A quiet reckoning. What does that look like?
Well, it's where you start to see, maybe for the first time, really clearly, what modern life has done to the human spirit. That's how they put it.
And part of that, according to Spiritwalker, is this trap of endless competition.
Right.
This whole idea that the person who dies with the most toys wins.
Yeah, that ridiculous notion. It drives so much behavior. We're constantly pushed to measure ourselves by what we own, what we consume.
It creates this weird social pressure, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Always looking at what others have, always needing the next thing.
Mm. Neighbor against neighbor, ego against ego, as Spiritwalker describes it. And the argument is this constant chase leaves people feeling, well, empty, a deep emptiness, actually. It's just not sustainable for the soul.
Okay, that makes sense. If the modern way leaves people empty, you'd think choosing something different, like the off-grid life, would be seen positively. But Spiritwalker also mentions that off-gridders often face mockery. Why is that?
That's a really interesting point they make. It's not the simplicity people are actually mocking. Spiritwalker argues it's the mirror it holds up to their own discontent.
Ah, okay. So seeing someone successfully opt out makes people uncomfortable about their own choices.
Exactly. It challenges the whole consumerist belief system that maybe they're still caught up in. It's often easier to ridicule the alternative than to face your own dissatisfaction,
That really reframes it, doesn't it? It's less about economics and more philosophical.
Mm.
But Spiritwalker is also realistic. They point out that drama and ego don't just vanish when you move to the woods. People bring their issues with them.
Right. So the location itself isn't some magic cure-all. It provides the space, the opportunity maybe. But the real change has to be internal.
So what is the key then, if not just the location?
It's about what happens when the external noise fades. You start to feel that, as Spiritwalker says, peace has weight and silence has meaning. But you have to actively work on it, cultivate it.
Okay.
And the big insight, the really profound part is this. It's not where you live that makes you free. It's what you release. Freedom comes from letting go of all that unnecessary baggage.
Letting go. Okay, let's connect the internal idea of release to the practical reasons people actually make the move. That seems to lead right into Spiritwalker's reason number 7.
It does. Reason 7 is to get away from the drama and people of modern-day society.
But based on what you just said, it sounds like it's not just running away.
Exactly. It's a crucial distinction. It's not fleeing in panic. It's consciously choosing a quieter, more self-determined environment. Moving off-grid, especially onto your own land, gives you a level of control that's just impossible in a city or suburb.
Control over your environment, that feels huge. Deciding who comes onto your property, what kind of energy or information you let in, cutting down on the external chaos, as Spiritwalker calls it.
It's about setting boundaries, physical, energetic, emotional. It's exercising sovereignty over your immediate world.
And this isn't just theory for Spiritwalker. This comes from deep experience, right?
Oh, absolutely. We need to stress that. This philosophy was forged in the real world. We're talking a decade, 10 years, living 100% off the grid.
Where was this?
Deep in the Missouri Ozark Mountains, on just 5 acres of forested private land. total self-reliance.
Wow. Okay, so what did that look like practically? 100% off-grid.
It means they really did it all. Spiritwalker grew, raised, hunted, foraged, and traded for, they say, almost 100% of their food. And definitely 100% of the medicine they needed. It's a complete model.
That's incredible. It proves it's possible that the current system isn't the only option.
Right. And that leads to maybe the most surprising part for people listening, especially those thinking, I could never afford that.
Yeah, financial barrier. Most people assume you need like a fortune to buy land and set up.
But Spiritwalker tackles that head on. They make this claim that this life is actually accessible to almost anyone, even without good credit or lots of savings.
Okay, now you've got my attention. How?
They specifically say you can learn how to obtain off-grid virgin land using no credit and less than $1,000 down.
Less than $1,000 down with no credit. How on earth is that possible? Most land requires a hefty mortgage.
Well, the details are apparently laid out in the book collection we'll talk about, but the gist seems to be using unconventional methods, things like specific county tax sales, maybe buying land with existing issues like liens for pennies on the dollar, or finding land in really remote areas that banks won't finance because there are no utilities.
Ah, okay, so if you don't need city water or power lines, the value proposition changes completely. You're looking at land differently.
Exactly. It bypasses the whole conventional system. The full blueprint for that kind of non-traditional approach is in the books.
That's vital context.
Yeah.
It links that desire for quiet and control reason 7 directly to a practical, achievable path. Okay, so if you've made that internal shift and you found a way to get the land, what's next? That seems to lead into reason number 8.
Right. Reason 8. To prepare their family to better survive whatever may come.
Preparedness. That word carries a lot of baggage for some people. Visions of doomsday bunkers.
Yeah, but Spiritwalker defines it differently. It's not about fear-based stockpiling, not primarily anyway. They define preparedness as awareness.
Awareness versus fear, okay? Awareness of what?
Awareness of the fragility of our complex modern systems. If your entire life depends on the grid staying up, the trucks delivering food on time, the global supply chain working perfectly, you're living surrounded by what Spiritwalker calls concrete independence.
And when one part of that system fails,
The whole thing can get shaky fast. And this isn't just hypothetical fear-mongering. Spiritwalker gives a very real example. The 2017 floods in Missouri, Texas County where they were, was hit hard. Infrastructure just collapsed. And the people who got through it relatively easily, who weren't stranded and desperate,
who were they?
Spiritwalker says it wasn't the richest or the strongest, it was those who were ready. People who had independent water sources, stored food, ways to communicate or manage without outside help. Resilience trumped everything else.
That's a powerful example. It makes the abstract idea of system collapse very concrete.
And connecting that local event to the bigger picture, many off-gridders see potential larger disruptions, war, famine, economic instability, you name it, as not if, but when.
So going off-grid is also about reclaiming the freedom to actually prepare for those possibilities.
Absolutely. On your own land, far from city rules, you can build that robust rainwater harvesting system, or plant a huge garden, or learn skills, or even, build a shelter if you feel you need one. You're not restricted by ordinances designed for dense urban living. You take control of your family's security.
Keeps coming back to control and sovereignty, doesn't it?
It does. And that brings us full circle back to the deepest reason Spiritwalker identifies. It goes beyond just the physical preparations.
What's the ultimate why then?
It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't need the world to stay the same in order to thrive. That's the core of it.
Wow. Okay, so if your security is internal, based on skills and resilience, rather than external factors like a stable job market or reliable electricity, you're less vulnerable.
Precisely. The process itself changes you. Spiritwalker writes, living off-grid strips away the unnecessary until all that's left is truth.
Strips away the unnecessary until all that's left is truth.
Strips away the unnecessary until all that's left is truth. That really sums it up, doesn't it? It's about finding something real, connecting with the land, finding that internal quiet strength instead of just being a consumer or a competitor.
Yeah. So if we pull it all together, this off-grid path at its deepest level, it's a very conscious choice. It starts with that internal reckoning, that desire for real peace and genuine resilience, and it's achieved by letting go of the dependencies and the noise of modern consumer culture. And as we talked about, this isn't just nice ideas. It's backed by a decade of actually living it, 100% self-sufficiently. So for listeners who are intrigued, who want to move beyond the why and explore the how, That's where the books come in.
Exactly. The Preparing for the Collapse collection, written by Spiritwalker Shikata, is basically the practical distillation of all that experience. It's the comprehensive guide to building that kind of sovereign life.
And it's a collection, you said. Multiple books.
Yeah, it's a series of 6 books designed to cover all the bases. There's How to Live Off the Grid, which covers the infrastructure basics, then food production basics and growing, foraging, and making natural medicine for sustainability.
Okay, so shelter and sustenance.
Right. And then there's self-protection, intuition, and survival for safety and awareness, bartering and trading for alternative economies, and finally, preparing and maintaining your bug-out bag for immediate readiness. It's pretty thorough.
That sounds like the complete package, really. From getting the land cheap, like you mentioned, all the way to defending it and trading goods. Where can people find this collection?
It's available pretty much everywhere books are sold, paperback, hardback, ebook, and there's an audiobook version too.
Great, and we'll make it easy for you. We've put the direct link to purchase the whole collection right there in the description. That's https://amzn.246-WAPA8M.
Perfect. And maybe just to leave you with something to think about, tying back to Spirit Walker's idea of stripping away the unnecessary, if peace and strength come from letting go, maybe ask yourself, what's one unnecessary thing? Maybe a habit, a worry, a possession that you could choose to release from your own life starting today to cultivate a bit more of that internal quiet.
That's a good challenge. A practical takeaway even if you're not planning to move to the Ozarks tomorrow. We hope this deep dive gave you some real food for thought about the motivations behind the off-grid choice.
Yeah, hope it was useful.
Thanks so much for joining us here on Forgotten Wisdom Radio, brought to you by the Nomadic Enterprises team. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.